Hey everyone, welcome to the top 10 list. Here's my top 10 favorite Kurt Russell movies. Yes, I'm a big fan of Kurt Russell. I'm a fan of a bunch of actors. I think he's a great actor. He's done a lot of great movies in the 80s, but actually pretty recently he's done a lot of great movies. So I thought I'd count down my top 10 personal favorite Kurt Russell movies. Alright, let's get to it. And before top 10 list, you gotta have your honorable mentions. My honorable mentions for my favorite Kurt Russell movies are The Fox and the Hound, Swing Shift, Used Cars, Escape from LA, Backdraft, Breakdown, and Unlawful Entry. Great movies, just couldn't make the top 10 list. But what did make my top 10 was my number 10. My number 10 is an ultimate guilty pleasure of mine, and that is Tango and Cash. Oh my god, this movie is cheesy, ridiculous, but freaking awesome. This has Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell together in a buddy cop movie, and this movie's great. It's got great comedy, amazing action scenes. Well, amazing for its time. It's a bit dated now and a bit cheesy, and some people call it kind of stupid, but I really like it. This is just a lot of nostalgia for me. I used to watch this all the time when I was younger. My brothers used to show this to me, and I freaking loved it. I thought it was a really good movie. Now, watching it now, I do find it kind of cheesy and really dated at times, but I still really like it. Not just because of nostalgia, but I really like Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell together. I think they have great chemistry together, and just them two in a buddy cop movie is just awesome. And Tango and Cash, it's just a huge guilty pleasure of mine. I know very well it's not a great movie, but I like it. Kurt Russell is a great movie, and I just enjoy it. Tango and Cash, great cop movie. Coming number 9 is Death Proof. Yes, in this movie he plays Stuntman Mike. Yes, and he is just downright unpleasant, and just, yeah, he's disturbing. He disturbed the ever-living shit out of me in this movie. He is the villain in this movie as Stuntman Mike. He's a stuntman for the movies. He was a race car driver, and now he is a sociopath. He kills people with his car. That's this big black car with a big skull on it, and yeah, he's scary in this movie. And this movie's great. This movie's written and directed by Quentin Tarantino. This is definitely Tarantino's weakest movie, but it's still great. When you have a director like Tarantino, even his weaker movies are still pretty awesome. And this movie's great, mostly due to Tarantino's great writing and direction, but Kurt Russell's awesome in this movie, but also Mary Elizabeth Winstead's in it. She's great. Rosario Dawson's in it. She's very good. Who else? Rose McGowan. She's in it. She's great. Some of these female performances, they're all really good, and there's some pretty awesome action sequences in this movie, especially the chase scene in the third act. It's very well done, very well executed, very well directed, and yeah, I'm a big fan of Death Proof, and I love Kurt Russell in this movie. So yeah, of course, it's my 9th favorite Kurt Russell movie. Coming number 8 is last year's Beau Tomahawk. Yes, Beau Tomahawk was a Western Kurt Russell played in 2015 last year, and yeah, it was a year for Westerns for Kurt Russell, and this was a really good movie. Very captivating and pretty compelling and pretty badass movie, actually. Kurt Russell's fantastic in this movie. The entire stellar cast in this movie give great performances. It's very well directed, very well written, very well structured, and I really like this movie. It's a very underrated gem of a film of last year. I don't want to spoil it, but Beau Tomahawk, watch it right now. It's freaking great. If you love Westerns, you'll love Beau Tomahawk. It's a great movie. It's awesome, and Kurt Russell just shines in this movie. He's great at Westerns, and yeah, this is not the only Western that's going to be on this top 10 list. There's a few. Coming number 7 is last year's The Hateful Eight. Yes, another Western Kurt Russell did last year. The Hateful Eight is another Quentin Tarantino movie, and I love this movie. This movie was so freaking good. It's actually getting better and better the more times I watch it. I loved it the first time. The second and third time when I bought the Blu-ray, I love it even more. And Kurt Russell's still my favorite character as John the Hangman Ruth. He is such an interesting character. He's probably the only likable character in the movie because it's a movie full of assholes. And yeah, Kurt Russell's probably the more likable asshole in the movie because he actually does follow rules and stuff. The rest of the characters don't really follow rules and stuff. And this movie's great. It's beautifully written by Quentin Tarantino, and it's beautifully directed by Quentin Tarantino. The shots are fantastic. Maureen Coriolan's score in this movie was fantastic. He totally deserved the Oscar. He was phenomenal. And the entire cast in this movie is fantastic. Not just Kurt Russell, but Samuel Jackson, Walton Goggins, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Bruce Dern, Tim Roth. Everyone is absolutely fantastic. Even the cameo of Channing Tatum, he's even great in this movie. I love it. It's a great Western thriller. It's almost like Clue beats Django Unchained, and it's pretty awesome. It's intense. You want to know who the bad guy is, who is working with Daisy. You don't know who it is, and you're just interested in what's going to happen in the ending, and the ending just delivers all the goods. It's a great Tarantino movie, and it's a great Kurt Russell movie. Hateful Eight, awesome. Coming number 6 is the third Western Kurt Russell was in, Tombstone. Yes, Tombstone. I love this movie. Kurt Russell plays the character Wyatt Earp, and yes, the sheriff in this movie. He basically is a cowboy that stands up for the law. He doesn't want people to murder. He doesn't want people to commit murders and rob people. He stands for justice and law and everything. And Wyatt Earp is a classic character played by multiple actors, and Kurt Russell is one of my favorite actors who actually played the character of Wyatt Earp. He's fantastic. That being said, he does get outstaged by Val Kilmer in this movie as Doc Holliday. I love Val Kilmer in this movie. In this movie, Tombstone, he is amazing in this movie as Doc Holliday. The best Doc Holliday in any movie about Wyatt Earp. Just the best Doc Holliday. Val Kilmer, the best Doc Holliday. One of the best Val Kilmer performances as well. And Kurt Russell's great in this movie too, and Sam Elliott's great in it too, and also Michael Biehn, he's great. Everyone's fantastic in this movie. It's got some great action, some great drama. There's some pretty funny scenes in this movie too. It just feels like you're in this Western world. You feel like you're back in the day with all the cowboys. It just brings you to the world with phenomenal direction, great writing, and very fascinating and interesting characters. And Kurt Russell was one of the reasons why I love this movie, and I love Tombstone. I love Westerns, and Tombstone's definitely one of my favorite Westerns, and it's my 6th favorite Kurt Russell movie. Coming number 5 is an underrated live-action Disney movie that Kurt Russell was in, and that is Sky High. I really like this movie. Not enough people talk about this movie for some reason. I love it. I think it's so good. Basically, it's about a world filled with superheroes, and basically when you're a kid in high school, you go to high school if you're the hero. If you're a villain, you go to the villain high school, but when you go to the hero's high school, you either get put into the superhero category or the sidekick category. If you're a superhero, that means you're powerful and useful, but if you're a sidekick, you're basically not that useful. You just help the superhero out, and it's such an interesting and fun idea, and I love this movie. I love the world of this movie, and I love these characters. Kurt Russell is one of my favorites in this movie. He's fantastic. Kelly Preston's also great in it. Danielle Panabaker from The Flash, she's great in it too. Fucking Bruce Campbell is in it. He's great. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, once again, she's in this movie. I love this movie. This is just a great, strange, live-action Disney movie about superheroes. I love it. It was so funny, so unique, and I wish they actually made a sequel to it. They didn't, which is a shame, but I love this movie. Sky High, check it out. It's an underrated live-action Disney movie, and it's great. I love it. Coming number 4 is Escape from New York. Yes, Snake Plissken. Yes, who doesn't love Escape from New York? This is such a great movie, and it's an iconic character. Snake Plissken is one of the most iconic characters Kurt Russell has played. He is fantastic in this movie. It's one of the best John Carpenter movies. It's a great action movie. At times it's a bit clunky and a little too dark, but I still really like it. It's a great action thriller, and I've mentioned it multiple times. I actually have a guilty pleasure for Escape from LA, but Escape from New York is the better movie, and it's my 4th favorite Kurt Russell movie. Coming number 3 is Big Trouble in Little China. Oh my god, everyone knows that I have a huge soft spot for Big Trouble in Little China. Not just because Kurt Russell's amazing in it, not just because John Carpenter directed this movie and also scored an amazing score for this movie, and also Kim Cattrall is awesome in it. It's not only that it plays homage to great sci-fi movies and great kung fu movies, but also it's just fun. This is one of the most funnest action movies of the 1980s, and that's saying a lot because the 80s is my favorite decade of all time, and this movie is so much fun. It's cheesy as shit, and it's definitely like a guilty pleasure sort of movie, but it's so good. I love it. It's so funny. I love its action. I love its characters. And most importantly, it's one of John Carpenter's best movies, hands down. I love Escape from New York. It's such a great movie. I love Dark Star and Assault on Precinct 13 and everything, but Big Trouble in Little China is definitely one of the funnest movies of the 80s, and it's one of the funnest John Carpenter movies, and it's my 3rd favorite Kurt Russell movie. Coming number 2 is Miracle. Yes, this is actually one of my favorite sports movies of all time. I'm a Canadian, so I actually do enjoy the occasional hockey. I watch a little hockey. I don't watch a lot of sports in general, but I watch some hockey, especially when the playoffs are on, and I do enjoy good hockey movies like The Rocket, Slapshot, the first one, and I love Miracle. This is one of my favorite. This is probably the best hockey movie ever made. It's so good. It's probably like my 3rd or 2nd favorite sports movie of all time. It's so freaking good. It tells a great story about the Americans facing the Russians during the Cold War in the hockey season, and they beat. This is such a great movie. I love it. It's very inspirational. It's a very inspiring sports movie. I never get inspired a lot by sports movies because, again, sports aren't my thing, but this movie was truly inspiring and truly remarkable. And it's so well written and beautifully directed. And Kurt Russell is fantastic as the head coach in this movie. He's so good. I love how he trains this team. He's not like completely strict. He's not like Coach Carter, or he's not like Coach Boone from Remember the Titans. He's just a little firm, but he's not like strict like them. He's very smart how he trains his players and stuff. He's not overly mean. He's very kind, but he can put his foot down and be a little stern, and he does it with such grace, and he's so passionate, and he's very determined to win the gold medal, and I really love his character. I love all the characters in this movie. All the actors who played all these hockey players are all great. I barely know any of the actors' names, but it's still great. It's got a great soundtrack. There's amazing hockey sequences, and it's a great sports movie. I'm not always for sports movies, but this is definitely one of my favorite sports movies, and it's my second favorite Kurt Russell movie. And my number one favorite Kurt Russell movie is, no shocker whatsoever, because it's John Carpenter's The Thing. Yes, I love this movie. 1982 is still one of the greatest years of cinema. I still think that. I still believe that because it gave us Blade Runner, and it gave us The Thing. I fucking love this movie. This is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. It's one of my favorite science fiction movies of all time. It's probably my favorite John Carpenter movie, and it's my favorite Kurt Russell movie. It's so good. It's intense. It's thrilling. The practical effects on the monster is fantastic, and it's scary. This movie is creepy and chilling because it takes place in the middle of like the Arctic, and it's just all this in this cabin, and all there is snow, and these people are just trapped with this monster, and this monster can turn to any one of these people, and it's just a great claustrophobic thriller. I love claustrophobic thrillers. Like, as you saw in my review for 10 Cloverfield Lane, that's why I loved that movie so much, because it's a claustrophobic thriller. That's my favorite kind of thriller. Not psychological thrillers and not action thrillers, but claustrophobic thrillers are like my favorite kind of thrillers, and that's what the thing is. It is so creepy and thrilling. I love it. And yeah, Kurt Russell and Keith David both steal the whole movie. It's so good. It's got a very interesting and thought-provoking ending, and I love this movie. I love its effects, I love its characters, I love its thrills and its chills, and it's so well directed. John Carpenter did an amazing job directing this movie, and of course, it is my favorite Kurt Russell movie. So yeah, that was my top 10 personal favorite Kurt Russell movies. So yeah, in the comment section below, please tell me, did you agree with this list? If not, give me your top 10 favorite Kurt Russell movies. Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.